Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome to my channel, thanks for joining me today. My name is Tom. I'm a small indoor grower from the UK, and today I want to talk to you about why I like orchids so much. So in front of me today I've got two regular houseplants and two orchids. So houseplants are great. Everyone loves plants, I suppose. They add a bit of colour. On the left here, I've got a fern. I'm not really too sure what kind of variety it is. Just a fern to add a bit of colour to the house, like I said. In front of it there, I've got a little golem jade plant. I don't really know too much about this one. I bought it in the supermarket a while ago. It's quite a compact grower, and so yeah, I mean we all know houseplants. Houseplants are great, but they're basically a bit limited. Like a fern, it has leaves, and that's kind of as far as it goes. So if you want to expand the kind of plants that you grow, then getting into orchids is great. That's why I love orchids, really, because they offer a bit more variety than just a regular houseplant. I mean, I can recommend a golem jade plant to anyone, really. It's a very compact grower, like I said, grows very slow, and so doesn't really need much care. I water it once a week. Very easy to grow. But so are orchids, really. They're not as difficult as a lot of people think. I mean, believe it or not, I basically care for my orchids exactly the same way as I do for my houseplants. There's not that much more to it. I mean, I know online people will recommend all kinds of different things that orchids are. They require specialist care and whatnot, and in some ways they do, but a lot of times what people say, they just say these things to make themselves more knowledgeable than they really are, because orchids, they don't really need all these specialist care requirements that people claim that they need. You treat an orchid just like a houseplant, and it'll do perfectly well. I mean, I might go into the care of some of my orchids a bit more, but a lot of times what you read and hear online, you shouldn't really trust too much. I wouldn't put too much worry into how to sort of care for the orchids to start with. You treat it like a houseplant, and it'll do, most of them will do perfectly well for you. Even the bellina, people say they need specialist care and requirements and whatnot. All you have to know with the bellina is that you have to keep it in a certain temperature range, and that's it. And that certain temperature range is basically house temperatures. So very easy plant to grow, just like a fern or a golem jade. So on the right hand side, the two orchids that I'm showing today, my Cattleya jewel box variety dark waters, and in front of it I've got a Phalaenopsis bellina. And the reason I'm showing these two orchids here today is because they sort of represent the main reason why I like orchids so much. I mean, I like all plants, but orchids, like I said, they offer a bit more uniqueness and variety than just a regular house plant can offer. So the reason I'm showing these two plants is because, first of all, the bellina, as you can see, it's flowering now. The bellina has got a reputation for having a really beautiful smelling flower. And I agree, and that's why I'm showing the bellina here today, because that is one of the reasons I like orchids so much, is because some of the flowers, they have amazing fragrances, and that is one of the things that got me into orchids. I wanted to discover the different fragrances that the flowers can produce, So this is my bellina. I believe, I mean, to me it's my best smelling Phalaenopsis, and I haven't grown all the different types of Phalaenopsis that one can grow. You know, my experience with the Phalaenopsis is a bit limited, so I can't really say that it is the best smelling Phalaenopsis that one can grow, and you know, everyone's experience is a bit unique in that way. Everyone has different opinions, but you know, the bellina is a beautiful flower that I can recommend to everyone if you want a really great smelling Phalaenopsis. So let's see if I can show a close-up of the flower. I'm not very good with the camera yet. I'm a bit of a YouTube novice, as you might be able to tell, but let's give this a try. So let's see if I can get a close-up picture here and zoom in on that. Right, sorry about that. I think the camera stopped recording there. So what was I saying? I was saying that the two main reasons why I like growing orchids is, first of all, to discover the different fragrances on the flowers, and secondly to watch the growth pattern of the orchids. So if you have a look at this orchid here, you'll see that, you know, it's got a very rambling sort of root growth pattern. You know, the roots are growing all over the place, and I find that fascinating. You know, watching the roots grow on an orchid, to me, is one of the most enjoyable aspects of growing the orchids. If you have a look around to this side, I haven't actually even removed the flowers from when it last flowered. These are the dead flowers, so they're not that interesting. I'll just remove them now. There we go. They shouldn't really be on there. That flowered a few months ago, so I should have removed those flowers a long time ago. So yeah, I mean, hopefully you can see all of the roots on this orchid. Like I said, I'm a bit of a novice with the camera, so I don't know if that's going to be in focus or not. But you can see all the nice root tips growing there, so you can watch how the orchid grows. And then if you have a look here, there's one new growth developing there. There's another growth developing there, and there's another growth developing around here. If you look behind the label, some of you might actually recognize this label. This is from Lucca Orchideen in Germany. I bought this orchid while I still could, before Brexit. Actually, we can't buy orchids from abroad easily anymore, so we're kind of limited with the orchids that we can get. So I'm quite happy that I managed to get this one before, well, while we still could. So yeah, you know, the great thing about this orchid now is that, you know, this new growth here will grow over the next few months, and you can sort of watch it grow, and you can sort of do that on a Gollum Jade as well, but the growth is not as interesting. I mean, I think the growth on an orchid is far more interesting, and like I said, the best aspect about the orchids is the fragrance that some of the flowers have. So I mainly grow fragrant varieties, and hopefully with this channel I'll be able to show some of the flowers that I'll be able to show you if I do manage to get them to flower. And yeah, so I hope you look forward to that. I'm planning to show quite a few nice varieties that I've managed to grow over the years, and hopefully I'll be able to share the joy of those flowers with you. Now, a shame you can't smell what these flowers smell like, because that, like I said, is the best aspect of growing these orchids. So you know, the best thing is for anyone who wants to experience the different fragrances of these orchids to get into orchids and grow these flowers for yourself, so you can experience the wonderful fragrance that they give off, which is quite unique on some of them. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe, and take care everyone.